So we talked at Equinox a little bit. Looks like we're in a little bit of a time crunch, right?
Yes.
Got a marathon. Is it this Sunday?
Yep, Sunday.
Up in Lowell, the Bay State Marathon?
Yep, correct.
Okay. And can you kind of give me a rundown? We're looking at some IT band inflammation. Which knee is it?
Left knee.
Left knee. Okay. And can you kind of just give me the lowdown? Like, when did you start to notice it? I know it's interfering with running. You've taken some time off, right?
Yeah, so today's Thursday, not last Friday, the Friday before, so about 15 days ago, or 13 days ago something, was the first time I noticed it in one of my runs, and I haven't ran since. So, well, I've ran one other time since, and it was only 5 miles. So in the past 2 weeks, I've really only ran once. Really with the intention of just resting it until the race.
And you're running the full marathon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you noticed it once about 15 days ago.
Yeah.
It came on. How long in terms of your run did you start to notice it?
It was like 12, 13 miles into a run, but it wasn't bad enough to where I needed to stop, and I was at the tail end of it anyway, so I just kept going through it. And then last Friday, I was supposed to run 14, ended up running 5.5.
Okay. And then you stopped at 5.5
Yeah.
because it was becoming too uncomfortable.
Yeah, I just didn't want to do too much damage beforehand.
Gotcha. Okay. And so we kind of know what's going on now, but we need to take a look at the past. The reason we do that, so say you sprain an ankle, doesn't heal up the way that you want it to, those forces and those compensations can work their way up to the knee and to the hip, and then things can get kind of twisted and kind of complicated. So with that being said, let's go back as far as you can remember in terms of injury history. Do you have any significant injuries that might be contributing to how you feel with this running?
I've never honestly had lower body injuries. I've really only had wrist things. Maybe like sprained ankles back in the day, but I've never had to actually had work done in the lower body. So there's nothing that I can think of that would be pointing to anything specific, really.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So there is a history of sprained ankles, just like rolling ankles?
Yeah, rolling ankles. I mean, I played soccer my whole life, so.
Both ankles or just one in particular?
I would just say both, honestly.
Any idea ballpark how many times?
Probably a handful, 3 or 4 times.
Okay. And then do you remember when they occurred, or is it just kind of like more in high school while you were
Yeah, high
being
school,
an
college, so 2013 to 2018-ish.
Okay. While you're playing soccer, and did you have to take any significant time off?
Mm-mm.
Okay, you were able to keep playing through?
Yeah, I mean, nothing was horrible. Nothing
was
too
horrible.
bad, yeah.
Gotcha. And then you said there's also a history of some wrist stuff going on. Can you kind of give me the lowdown on that?
Yeah, I've broken my right wrist twice and my left 3 times. All when I was before 2014, pre-2014 days.
Okay. So left times 2, right times 3. Before 2014. And what happened with those?
Yeah, different falls, rollerblading, falling off a trampoline, falling off a rope swing, playing soccer, playing ice hockey.
Okay. And did you get rehab for those? And
No.
kind of
Just had a cast.
let it heal?
Hard cast, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's pretty much everything that you can remember. So nothing really going on with the lower body.
Correct.
Ankle sprains didn't stop you from what you were doing. Wrist falling did stop you from what you're doing. Okay. So usually what I'd go into is like some things that make things better and things that make them worse. So we know that what makes it worse is running, and it sounds like around 5 miles. Was 5 miles during that run a couple weeks ago when you started to notice it, or when it got so bad that you felt the need to stop?
Yeah, I probably noticed it about a mile before I stopped. So I think I stopped at 5.5. So around 4.5 is when I started to notice it. And I just didn't want to push through in training if I didn't need to.
Gotcha. Okay. And there's, just to be stupid clear, there's nothing else that you found to be aggravating? Nothing that you're doing in the gym, walking around on the gym floor, anything like that that's been giving this left knee some trouble? Okay. Things that make it feel better. So it's avoiding running. Obviously, has been helping.
Yep.
Because you haven't been feeling it in your day-to-day activities.
Correct.
Anything else that you've come across that helps you feel better?
I've done some foam rolling, which I'm sure helps. It doesn't necessarily make it feel like better than nothing, but I'm sure it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foam rolling usually helps in the short term, kind of get those
Yeah.
tissues to elongate and feel better in the short term, but it's not like a long-term
Yeah.
solution, at least in my mind. Anything else that you've found that helps you feel better?
Really just like not being on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself shifting to the right side because even if it's like unconsciously, like you're kind of just talking to someone standing like this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you try to shift weight back on your left side, I don't know if you ever tried.
Fine.
It feels fine.
Yeah. I don't notice it in my day-to-day activity, day-to-day
Gotcha.
life. Yeah.
Okay. And then it sounds like things we've tried. We talked about the foam rolling, avoiding running. It doesn't affect your day to day. So usually, like I would transition here into needs, but it doesn't sound you're able to do everything that you need to be able to do without an issue. Just to be clear.
Correct. Yep. Just run. Yeah.
Yeah. And run. And the goal is going to be 26.2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think, this is a little bit of a different case than what we typically treat because you have deadlines a week. It's more of an acute situation.
Yeah.
I'd usually go into a spiel about goals and so on and so forth, but we just need to see if we can get a big change relatively quick for you to feel better, to be able to run the way that you want to.
Yeah.
Any long-term concerns that you have about this given situation?
Not really. I mean, I've heard it's a super common thing with runners, IT band issues, and it usually, there's bad cases, but typically it's just like rest and rehab is enough to make it better. So I'm not too concerned about it.
Yeah, first time it's popped up, we just want to make
Yeah.
sure that we can get you to run, feel accomplished.
Yeah.
Any questions?
I'll take that. Why you decided to run a marathon?
Oh gosh. I've always been big into like endurance stuff, so cycling and running have always been a part of my life. I feel like a full marathon is unattainable. At least when I started training, that was one of my motivations to start doing it, just to see if I could do it. There's also a couple of the coaches at the club that are running it, so it felt like a good thing like that we could do together. Which is cool. So
Is this the first one you're running?
first one, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn. Who's running it?
Hugo and John Ruff.
John Ruff is running it.
Yeah.
Hugo. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Who's gonna win?
probably Hugo.
Hugo?
Not me anymore.
You just want to finish.
I just want to finish now.
How long you been thinking about this marathon?
I've been training this is my 18th week. So however many months that is, but essentially since then I had no intention of ever running a marathon or signing up for one until I actually did it, and then it was like game time to train.
Right. What's your how you feel about it? Just from starting the journey until now, do you feel like you're getting like more into it? Do you feel like, man, I'm just gonna get this thing over with, and I'm not gonna do this ever again?
No, I have loved the training process. Like, it's been super cool to see in just a 4-month period the progress that I've made in terms of fitness, my body, and just like my mind and headspace.
Yeah.
Up until this thing, I could have ran it like on the spot. I was super confident with my fitness and my ability to run it, and now it's kind of just like see what happens, see how much I can endure.
Tell me more about that, the whole mental space and the fitness, and like what was the big thing that happened to you? What was the transformation during this time of training?
Yeah, I think it's been a long time since I've done something that I can measure actual progress in such a short amount of time. So being able to I could run 18 weeks ago, I could run 3, 4, 5 miles and be okay, but like that was a lot for me. Running any more than 10 miles seemed crazy. So running 4 to 5 times a week with different programming, and actually every week is essentially the most I've ever ran for the past 18 weeks. So it's been a cool experience to just see how at the beginning 5 miles was really hard, and at the end 5 miles was like my easy runs, and it was just it was different. It was a cool growth mindset to see of just you put work in and things will change. You just need to put the work in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a performance-oriented person? Like you always looking to achieve certain milestones and, whatever aspects of your life?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, the company I work for is very high performance based, so it's something I'm kind of always thinking about and aware of. Also, growing up playing sports, like practice was always a thing. You needed to practice to play well, and of course, winning was like a huge aspect too. So, yeah.
If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Cool. How would it feel to complete this marathon?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think better now than a few weeks ago, which is an interesting thought too. Like,
What do you mean by that?
I think that I, of course, would have felt very accomplished without this knee injury, but now that the knee injuries or inflammation or whatever it is happening, it's just even more of a barrier. So getting on the other side of it would be even cooler.
Yeah.
But I know that my fitness is there to do it. So
Yeah,
it's just like, I know that I can do it. It's just a matter of like,
making sure your
how it'll
body
go. Yeah.
don't betray you so much
Yeah.
by the time you finish. It will betray you by the time you're done.
Yeah.
But we're hoping that it doesn't become like a real injury that
Totally.
you actually have to go through the process of recovery.
Yeah.
Give you the best chance of running it
Yeah.
as healthy as possible.
Totally.
How would it feel if you don't finish it?
I've thought about it a lot. I think not the end of the world. I mean, it's just a race. It's just like one day, and I can always sign up for another one. It would definitely be disappointing going through 18 weeks of training and not like achieving the goal that I set out to do. But it is what it is. Like, it's not the end of the world. I can always do another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And when you ran that last time you ran, you hit the 5 miles and you stopped. Like, how did that feel for you? Like, did it feel like, oh shit, it's gonna be a really strenuous 26 miles, or do you feel like, all right, like, tell me about that?
Yeah, it's essentially since that happened, I have been preparing myself to just be in pain for 4 hours.
Okay.
During the race.
Yeah. So you're ready for what's coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How would you feel if you were on 26 miles and you didn't experience pain?
Amazing. Feel very nice.
All right,
feel very good.
Well, you still will experience the fatigue and all the usual stuff, but
Yeah.
if you were to not experience the IT band issue,
Yeah.
that would be an amazing accomplishment for you.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and they said that ask somebody who is healthy and well and has what they need, what they want, and they'll give you a million different things. If you ask somebody who's sick what they want, the only thing they'll say is to be healthy. And it's super true. Like, it's really the only thing that matters is like our health and wellness, and you only really appreciate that when you don't have health and wellness, and then that's all you want. So I think absolutely, like, the number one thing at this point is just if I could finish it without any sort of pain would be incredible. But
Yeah. Well, there's going to be some level of discomfort and pain.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, just like if you have pain in your feet, like the muscles get sore. I think those are very, I'd say, normal things to feel. But you go through it, and you were going through sharp shooting pain at the outside of your knee this entire time. Well, that isn't really something you want.
absolutely, yeah, no.
Right? But the normal fatigue and the normal pain, the heart just, beating out of your
Yeah.
chest, I think those are fine. Those
Yeah,
are
yeah.
good discomforts.
Totally,
But we want to see if we can get rid of the other ones that
totally.
isn't really beneficial. Well,
Totally.
not the other one was actually beneficial, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to take a moment and just explain to you the philosophy and principles of how we look at the body, so that when we go through the movements and do everything that we do, it doesn't seem random.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So we, unlike other practices, we have a nervous system-based approach. So what that means is the way you move your body around is all happening unconsciously, especially when you're running. You shouldn't have to think about, I'm going to contract my quads, I'm going to contract my calves. You think about all these things, you're going to be a robot, and you're really not going to get into that flow state that running actually offers. So the way I like to explain this entire concept is I use a detour analogy. So let's say for example, you're coming from your place to here today, and it's your first time getting here. So you input our address into the GPS, and it'll bring you to the most efficient pathway to get here, right? So let's say, it takes 20 minutes, you get on the highway. Good. Let's say you start coming here more often. After a couple of weeks, you no longer need to use the GPS. You get in the car, next thing you know, you're here, and you didn't even know how you got here.
Totally.
Right. Now, let's say, for example, you start driving one day, and instead of the normal path that you take, there's a detour. Every route you to the right, and you hit a bunch of different potholes. You hit a bunch of stop signs, and it's just a less comfortable experience. And you get here, and it takes you 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you start driving again the next day, and it's still the same detour, another 40 minutes, you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, totally.
After a while, now that becomes the only way you know how to get here.
Yeah.
So these detours happen through our entire life, through the different experience that we have physically, even emotionally. That can have the trauma that we feel emotionally can also have an effect on our physical body.
Totally.
So I would say, even though we didn't give a comprehensive list of different detours, having multiple ankle sprains in the past, maybe that's something your body had been accustomed to and compensated for it. But that's your first set of detour, because you have an ankle sprain, you're gonna limp for a bit.
Yeah.
And after you limp, even though it fixes itself, you might still hold on to a little percentage of that limp.
Totally.
And that over time, when you stress it through higher level activities, you may start to develop other issues.
Totally.
So it sounds like maybe the IT band issue that you've experienced right now is the beginning of another detour. Right? And even before that, we can even make the argument that the wrist fractures that you had is also another detour. And you're in a sling. So if you're sling, you see, you don't rotate your body the same way. And if you don't rotate your upper body the same way, now that changes the flow of your legs too.
Yeah.
So even though they may seem a little bit far away from the injury site, that still might be a relevant puzzle piece that we could be looking at. Right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we look at body in terms of compensations and detours.
Yeah.
And how comprehensive we can make it. So let's look at a third detour.
Yeah.
You start driving on that 40-minute path, and suddenly that's blocked off. You hit a left. This new detour, luckily for you, brought you down to a shortcut. You miss the potholes, and you get here 15 minutes. So highly efficient, way better. And as humans, we always want to do things that's going to be more efficient or less painful. That's how we evolve as species.
Yeah.
So what do? You're going to want to take that same detour again, over and over again, until now that becomes your new pathway, right?
Yeah.
So this is what we're going to try to do for you today. We're going to watch you move. We're going to take off your socks. We're going to watch the mechanics of how your body move around as you take one step forward, as you bend over. And we're trying to figure out, how does your body accomplish all these tasks?
Yeah.
And we might take videos, or we already taken a video.
Yeah.
And we can watch the pattern that you're going through, and also any kind of pain or discomfort that you're experiencing. Then we introduce a detour for you. And that detour could us be using some of these wedges and the foot, sort of like what we talked about previously, to have you experience your body maybe differently. And you might say, oh, when I do it this way, I actually don't feel that discomfort that I was feeling before. I don't feel that tightness in my wherever that I was feeling before. Great. That's a sign of that detour.
Yeah.
Now you do this over and over again, your body remembers that neurologically, and it changes for you. And now every single time you take a step, it would inhabit this new pattern. And that's really how we can make really fast results for our clients, especially if there's not a lot of inflammation that happens. So you taking a break after that 5 miles where you feel it and not do anything, it's probably the best decision you've made in terms of this, because if we're dealing with inflammation at this point, very hard to make some meaningful changes in the next couple of days for you to run. All right?
Totally. Yeah.
Cool. So from here, we're gonna run through a screen. We'll watch you move. We're gonna run through a strength test to see if there's certain areas that needs to bring up a little bit more. Then we're gonna go through the detour and everything else. And at the end of it, we'll wrap everything up into maybe a couple moves that you can do every single day, maybe multiple times a day, leading up to the marathon. That way you have the best chance of completing it.
Yeah.
Pain-free. All right?
I like it.
Cool. Let's go ahead and take off your socks.
All right.
All right. So have you go and stand, and you're gonna face the mirror, but don't step on that carpet there. Take a
Don't
step.
step on that one.
Yeah, just because we want your foot pressures to be even. So we're gonna look at some spine range of motion, but we're gonna think about where do you feel it in your feet? Where do you feel the pressures in your feet as you go through these movements, all right? So first one, very straightforward. We're gonna keep the knees straight, slide your hands down the fronts of your thighs. Come down, do a few of those, and just let me know where do you feel your pressures? Do they feel even between the left and the right side? And if not, what's the difference there? The answer could be I don't know.
If it's subtle,
Yeah.
just say it's the same.
Yeah, it feels the same, but I do feel a lot of pressure on like the back right side. So back right heel, outside of the right foot.
Okay.
Actually, let's do this. Why don't we, let's go to the pressure map.
Okay.
That way we can be more sure.
Follow me. Let's see.
2204.
Okay, so go ahead and hop on.
Face this way or this way?
I'm gonna face this way, but look straight ahead. Don't look down just yet. Yeah, and then you can look down now. So when we look at this, there's about a 10% difference between the right and the left side. Now, from a standpoint, if the left leg is subconsciously trying to protect itself, it makes sense that you're shifting it over a little bit. And then just looking at this here, you're absolutely right. Like a lot of your weight, just from regular standing, is put through the base of your heel. But let's go ahead and test that. I actually might have you come down so we can bring this back. Take a step off if you don't mind. Just want to bring this back a little bit so you can bend forward. Yeah, hop back on, please. Okay, yeah, go ahead and bend. Come back up. And yeah, you're dead on. So when you go down, it starts shifting back this way. This is your center of mass, so it keeps kind of coming at this angle. So this blue line comes down, and this gray dot comes back to the right heel.
Yeah.
Okay, so from here, let's have you go ahead and extend back. So I like to put my hands on my hips, lead with my eyes, and just try to bring my head back. Do a couple of those there. Good. From here, we're gonna go into a side bend. So I like to have my hand, so left hand behind your neck, and you're just gonna bring your right hand down the outside of your right thigh. Just let me know how you feel with these. Any discomfort at all?
No.
Good. And
Fine.
switch sides. Interesting.
Go back to the other one.
Yeah, go back to the right side. So for what I'm seeing here, it looks like when you do the side bend, you want to load the right.
Don't go back to the other side one more time.
This one?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, you're much more willing to load the right side when you move to the right, but a lot less willing to load the left side when you move to the left. Gotcha. So last one here is going to go through a rotation. So you're going to move your feet. You're going to stay pointing forward, but you're just going to rotate your hips, trying to look over towards me this way first. Do a couple of those. Good. And then go ahead and look to J. Got it. Okay. You can come off that. Follow us. We'll come back to the. Come back to the office. So from here, we're going to go into some foot range of motion assessment. So what you're going to do is you're going to use this little path between you and the mirror. Start by walking your toes. We're going to take a few steps forward and then a few steps back. Just try and stay on the toes. And how do you feel as you do this?
Fine.
Okay. Let's try heels. So walk, kind of like a duck walk there.
Fine as well.
Okay. Next one here, you're gonna rest on the outsides of your heels.
Yeah.
Your knees might come out a little bit with you, that's perfectly fine. Just a few steps forward, a few steps back.
Feels good.
Okay, last one is just gonna be the opposite. So now we're gonna get onto the insides of our feet. You might notice that your knees cave in. Again, that's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do these before every run.
Excellent. How do you feel there?
Fine.
Okay. And take a small step forward. I'd like you just to go in some bodyweight squats to see what that looks like. Yeah, a couple more. Gotcha. Okay. Just want to take a quick note. Okay. How'd you feel with the squat?
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's up the ante a little bit. So we're gonna go into some mini squats. So left foot's gonna come off, right knee's gonna bend. And it doesn't have to be much. I just would like to see about 3 to 5 on each side just to see what the coordination looks like there. Good.
Any more?
Yeah, no, it's good. How you feeling there?
Fine.
Okay. So just what I noticed through my observation with that, on that left side, I don't know if you noticed, but you really like to lean on the outside of your heel to be able to achieve
toe,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be curious to see when we get you on the table how that coordinates up to the rest of the body. But yeah, when you were doing this, it looks solid. You were just really leaning on the
Yeah, I
outside. It
do.
didn't seem like you really wanted to get onto that big toe or the inside at all.
Yeah.
Let me just write that down. Jay, anything else that you'd like to test in standing?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the mic and we're gonna do.
One foot off.
Change it. Can you just bring your left foot forward like this and just bring your knee forward and don't think about alignment or anything, just kind of bring your knee forward naturally and see what happens. Okay, good, and come back. Can you just zoom in? You could do like a one-time zoom instead of like a 0.5. Perfect, do it again. Okay. Do you have forefoot runner or do you run heels?
I probably don't have the greatest running form, so somewhere in the heel to midfoot.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. You know, you don't want like here, and you don't want like
Yeah.
all here. Somewhere in the middle. You're actually doing the right thing. Go ahead. So what I'm noticing is just we're not seeing a lot of calcaneus moving. So the foot is not really pronating. That means it's not really absorbing force. And go ahead, come back. And I'm just looking at the tibia. Go ahead, do it again. So the tibia isn't really getting a lot of internal rotation. It's sort of just going straight. If anything, I'm looking at the mirror. It's also coming out a little bit. So that means we're going to be straining a lot more of the lateral structure here. It's going to decelerate you a lot. So I think you're just working a lot of overtime, this structure, because we're not getting a more balanced structure in that foot. So I think we'll be working on some foot mechanics with you. I'll come back. Let's do the right side and see if there's a difference. Same thing. Can you move a little bit this way, just so you can see? All right, so over here, you can see over here, this heel. Go ahead, do it again. We just see some more movement happening. And as you see here, see how the shin kind of migrates more towards the center versus the left side tends to naturally go out to the side. That's a detour that your left side developed that you didn't develop on that right side. Do it again. Right. And do you feel a difference between doing this on the right side versus the left side?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
It's very I do feel like my quads on the left side are taking a lot more. They're being used a lot more.
Right. Versus here,
Yeah.
it feels,
It feels just more stable.
yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. I don't know why, but
Yeah. Well, the forces aren't really balanced perfectly from all the different angles on that left side versus they are on the right side.
yeah.
So what you feel and what we see is matching up, which is a good thing. When they don't match up,
Yeah.
we want to explore a little bit further.
Yeah.
I want to take you out to the gym. I want to see you do a couple hops to see what it does when we really place it under bigger loads.
Okay.
You just follow me from the back of this video. Director, you're gonna be a director. Okay. So I'm here. What I want you to do first is the right foot. We can do a hop, hop, and stop. Hop, hop, and stop.
Ooh.
Okay, turn around, do the same thing. Hop, hop, stop. Okay, now the left. Okay, good. Turn around, same thing, left. Good, how's that feel?
A little shaky, but good. Fine.
A little shaky. Can you hop from the door to this way so we can catch like a front angle? Right foot, hop, hop. Okay, that's good. And left. Go back over there and come back with the left. Do it one more time. Like we can even see the left side just curve out. Yeah, it just curves out the whole time versus the right side.
Flat, stable.
Yeah, you can even, if you can look in the mirror, you can even see, if you do it right,
Yeah.
you're gonna see how that shin angle goes straight on the right, but the shin angle goes a bit more curved out to the left.
Yeah,
So that's your right, okay, and then your left. It just,
I can't even
it just
balance
goes
without
this way,
doing
right?
it. Yeah.
It just goes that way.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, let's go back inside.
Yeah.
Have you lie on your back. So Brandon, I'm just gonna take over just for time's sake. I'm just gonna go quick, all right? All right, we're gonna do a strength test through your body here.
Yep.
So the way I test it, I always test through the extremities. Your foot is the first thing that touches the ground. So it has to absorb the impact that you put onto the ground, and the force has to go through your feet, pass over the tendon onto your calves, into your quads, into your hips, and then so on and so forth. Think of it like a relay race. But if the impact is not being passed well through the foot, then you might just take more impact through the rest of your body to make up for the loss of distribution, right? So I'm just gonna go through here. You're gonna go ahead and press into my hand with just your ankle. Don't think about the hips, just for your ankle. Go ahead, press. Go, go, go. And resist me, don't let me pull you up. You ready? Go, 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 go. Hold, 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 hold. Go a little bit stronger for me. Go, 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 go. Nice work. Other side. Go ahead. Go, 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 go.
Oh, goodness.
How does that feel?
Fine, just harder.
Harder on this side?
Yeah.
What makes it harder?
I don't know. Maybe it's just like the ankle downwards is harder.
Right, do it one more time. Press, press, press. So that's the left.
Yeah.
Do it right. Hang on, let me get underneath you first.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, go ahead.
I feel that more up in here on the right, though.
Yeah, versus here.
Yeah, versus the left.
Not as much over here. On
Correct.
the
Yeah.
left. Got it. So very important. Your forefoot needs to press into the ground, and these guys need to kick on to make sure you can, run properly with everything included. So you're gonna come up here, turn the foot up towards you, stay right there. Don't let me pull you down. You ready? Is that good?
Yep.
Perfect. Bring it down. The other one. Toes up. Bring it. Is that good?
Yep.
Perfect. Bring it down. Point your toes. bring your entire leg towards the inside. Go, 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 go. Okay, good. Bring this towards the inside. Good, good, good. And bring it up here. That's all good here?
Mm-hmm.
And relax. That's all good here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's all good here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Going real fast. Good. Right here, don't move. Hold it. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Good, good. Bring it down. Do this one. Don't move. Go, 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 go. Good. Line your side, face that way. Straighten out the leg. You're gonna raise it up. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Bend it. Go this way. Turn the toes up in the air. Stay right there. Don't move. Go it. Go, 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 go. Perfect. Good. Stay right there. Don't move. Go. Nice. And the other side. Now roll your hips over a little bit more. Stay right there. Toes up. Don't move. Go. Nice work. Go. Nice work. Perfect. Line your back. So the legs are checking out pretty well.
Yep.
Like nothing would tell me that we should be looking at the knee or here to resolve the issue. I'm just gonna feel around. How's this feel for you?
Tender. Fine.
Yeah. So tender, and this is more. This is a bit better. Got it. Got it. And if I go. How's that feel?
Fine.
Okay. No problem here. So a true ITB band syndrome, that should really scream at you.
Okay.
But it's not screaming at you, so
Yeah.
you're in good luck.
Good.
Right? You haven't developed that whole diagnosis, and we don't want to.
No.
I'm just gonna test your upper body real quick, okay? Same concept. I'm testing the fingertips. I want you to go ahead and bring your hand up. Go, go, go. Perfect. Relax. Bring it up to the ceiling. Go, go, go. Relax. Good. Bring it into the thigh. Good. Relax. Bring it down. Good. Relax. Upside down. Push away. Good. Relax. Good. Good. Press into your stomach. Good. Rotate your palm up to the ceiling. Good. Relax here. It's a little bit stiff going this way. Going down, not too bad. Up. Good. Up. Good. A little bit weaker on this side. But you're ready? Good.
Yeah.
Bring it down. Okay. Bring it down. Good. I like this aloe sweater, man. Push away.
I know.
I have a black one of these,
Yeah, they're great.
but they have a limited amount of washes, so
They do. I always turn inside out too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Because you knew. I didn't. I just watched it. Wow. It's like so it's like so rough
gets-
now. I'm like, I
yeah.
can't.
Defeats the purpose.
Yeah. Bring it up towards you. Good, good. Bring it down. Good, good, good. Relax there. Was it the right wrist that you hurt?
This one more.
Really?
Yeah.
This one you actually have more range versus this one. You're a bit stiffer.
Oh,
So
interesting.
right here. Not. I don't think
Yeah.
it's playing a big role in all
Yeah.
this. I think the foot is probably where I would
Yeah,
go with
totally.
this. All right, come on the table. So based on your leg strength test, probably any other therapist will look at you and be like, hey man, you're good. You have no issues. But once we start looking at the coordination of how the foot interacts with the knee and everything else, we start to notice something a lot
Yeah.
deeper and really see the deficit.
Yeah.
Okay. So my goal today is to help you find a detour for how your foot moves. Okay. So a little bit of lesson on foot mechanics. There's two shapes of the foot. That's it. So it makes it simple, but not really, because there's a lot of bones that needs to move in precise manner for these two shapes to occur well. So it needs to pronate, which is this.
Yeah.
Pronation is the absorption of the force through your foot.
Yeah.
We all need this. If you don't pronate,
Yeah.
you run and you're like with a stiff foot,
not good, yeah.
it's not going to feel good. The force is going to travel straight through into your knee because your foot can't absorb any of that. And for the foot to be able to absorb force well, a couple of different details needs to happen. This heel bone needs to move. This heel bone needs to tip down and tip in. And when it does this, these bones here, it spreads out. And the plantar fascia gets a nice stretch, and it acts like a spring. It helps you modulate forces, helps you move quickly. Like this, and then it arches up like that.
Yeah.
So, and when all this is happening, look at the shin bone. when this spreads out, the shin bone actually has to rotate inward a little bit. So it drags that knee towards the middle, or maybe even towards closer to the big toe. It's doing that on your right foot, but on your left foot, it tends to just, I think there's a lot of stiffness happening in the heel, so it tends to almost just go out this way. Like you're going forward with your knee, but your foot is not really going to that nice pronation that we're looking for. So a lot of the stress is going to happen on that lateral side.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
So in the first couple miles, I think you're good, but after like 5 miles, 6 to 10 miles, it's going to be too much for that part to sustain, and that's when you're going to start feeling a lot of your pain start to come in, especially around the IT band lateral side. Okay, so what are we going to do about this? We're going to play around with some wedges to help encourage this movement to return back to its normal. So let's say this bone is stiff and we need to move it. Well, we can't just consciously move this bone. It's not like your hand. You can't just manipulate it like that. So we need to have the foot on the ground and we need gravity. So with physics, we put a wedge here, and because it's on a ramp, it can encourage this bone to get its motion back.
Where it should, yeah.
And when this starts to come back, I want to see how everything else starts to reorganize itself. Okay. And if we need to do some other parts to open up, let's say we need to open up this part, we can put a wedge here, and we can open this. And the nice part about doing these moves is that it's very neurologically driven, because your feet have a lot of nerve endings. So as long as your body understands the detour or feels that detour for the first time, we should be able to take you off of these wedges and still have you experience a cleaner foot motion.
Yep, that makes sense, yeah.
Cool. So the only move we're gonna do is that move we did where you bring your knee forward and back. Okay, and I'm just gonna mess around with it and see if you feel any different with some wedges underneath. So for example, in the beginning you're doing it, you're like, yeah, I just feel like there's a lot of effort or whatever, and I put it on and you go, okay, just like less effort, it feels smoother. Those are good signs. If you do it and you're like, okay, I feel like it feels more awkward, like my knees aren't act up, let me know.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. So let's have you bring the right foot forward first. This is your good one, and just bring your knee forward and back. Yeah, and you notice that knee comes
Totally right
down.
over. Yeah.
So we'll do the left one. Don't try to force it now, just do natural. See it goes.
Yeah, already.
Already. So Brandon, you can come over here and we can take a look. So bring your left leg forward. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I'm gonna help unlock this part of your heel bone. I'm gonna put a little wedge right here. And all I want you to do, I want you to stay contact on the wedge as you go forward. So don't like get airy. Go ahead. Good. And we'll do about 8 reps or so. I'm not counting, but it's just enough to see how your body processes this information. And go slower. And how's that feeling?
I definitely feel more weight going into my big toe now.
Right.
I think that's probably the most noticeable thing for me. Yeah.
Yeah, go slow. Stay heavy here. Because I'm thinking about, I want this heel bone to roll.
Totally.
Down.
Totally.
There you go. See how that knee is just starting to migrate
Right
closer
over
to the
it,
middle now?
yeah.
And you're not doing this consciously. This is all happening unconsciously.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Keep going. Good. So it's moving, still not as much as I like it to move. So I think some of this may even have to do with maybe some stiffness that you're feeling around here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put another wedge right here. What this does is help kind of open up this front part of the foot. Same thing, go nice and slow. Nice. How's that feel for you?
Great.
Any difference than before when you were doing this raw?
I can feel more like symmetrical pressure in my foot instead of wanting to be on the outside of it.
Yeah,
That's what I notice.
That's perfect. That's what we want.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. And you want to experience this a lot.
Every step. Yeah.
Between now and
Yeah.
the marathon. So you want to overflood your nervous system with this input.
Make it subconscious.
Yeah, exactly. Make it subconscious. If you're conscious about it, we're not ahead of the issue. When you're unconscious, thoughtless, fearless, that's when we're actually making good progress. And you're looking like you're getting a lot further.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, I can definitely feel it more spread out.
Yeah. Sweet. I'm gonna change the angle a little bit and just tell me if this feels even better than the previous configuration.
I feel this more in the back of my ankle.
Like where?
Like somewhere in the Achilles, mid. Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna switch the heel one, a little bit like this, and tell me if this clears it up.
Ooh, still there.
Okay. So it looks like this one and this one is still the best bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're losing a little bit of weight on the heel, so stay heavy on it. That's better.
Yeah.
I can tell because it was like coming up and shaking a little bit. Nice. Keep going. Sweet. Now I'm going to take these away and see if you can experience that same sensation here.
Yeah, I mean, it already feels like I'm putting more into my toe.
Right. Sweet. So that's what I mean about detour. Like once you experience a more efficient path, it will likely take that path again.
Yeah.
But you never know to take it unless you felt it before.
Show the body the path, yeah.
Yeah. So I think we can still do a little bit more to loosen this up.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably heard of people rolling out the arches.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do the same thing, but the way I want you to do it's gonna be a little bit different. Most people just roll.
Mm-hmm.
I like just having a sustained pressure on one point and allowing the body slowly melt into it first, because that's really how you affect the fascia layer. Okay. So you roll too fast, you don't actually get the results.
Okay.
So do you have a lacrosse ball?
I have a lacrosse ball at home, yeah.
Perfect. So we have one here. And what you're gonna do on that left foot, you're gonna put it like this. So I would hit like where the heel attaches. I would just sit there for a little bit. Don't put so much pressure that your body contracts, right? You want to put enough pressure where over time your body can sort of melt into the ball. Yeah. And then you will go and find a little bit here, and you do a little zigzag down. So we'll spend about maybe 2-3 minutes on this.
Okay.
Go ahead. So I'll help you out there. So a spot would be like right here on the inseam.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah. And you just hang out here, let it chill. Because you have all these tissues that attach this hair. Mm-hmm. If they're tight, it stops this bone from moving. Mm-hmm. So when these are more pliable, and this bone can do more of this. Mm-hmm. It's starting to return. I'm seeing some movement happen. Mm-hmm. I would like to see just a little bit more for you to be more comfortable. So once you get here, you might go, yeah, that's good.
Oh, yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. How long have you been GM?
Since
I think I was
here since March, but
okay.
Yeah.
I think I remember you some time ago. But my time it's just like all messed up. I don't know like how many months or whatever came by.
Yeah.
Were you at a different club before?
I was in DC.
Oh right.
Yeah, I moved up here from DC.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Was the move because of the job or you were coming here anyways?
I went to school in Providence.
Oh, okay.
So my whole network is in Boston. Oh. So I wanted to move up here.
You were gonna come here anyways?
For a long time. Yeah. And it worked out. I had to essentially wait for an opening.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then there it is.
Once one happened, yeah.
How long have you been with the company?
Since 2021.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Did you start as GM or
In AGM.
AGM
Yeah.
and then into GM?
Yeah.
Because I know what I like about the company is there's so many ways to move up if you want.
So much growth, yeah.
Like I know Dan was a trainer and then slowly just went into a management role.
Yep.
I know I think Lindsay was a sales, was in the sales
Membership
department,
advisor, yeah.
membership advisor, and then GM,
Yeah.
and now she's like regional GM.
Yeah.
I don't know what she is now. She's probably
Yeah,
like
exactly. No, regional director, yeah.
just way up high in the,
Yeah.
in the corporate chain.
Wow, that does really.
Yeah, so I think about this as a foot melt instead of a foot roll
Yeah.
because the concept is very different.
This one I can feel a lot.
Yeah. So once we spend a couple more minutes here, we're gonna play around the wedges again, and then we're gonna end up going through some hops and see
Okay.
how that feel. I think as part of your program before now and then, it's gonna involve this walk, wedge work with your feet, and then a couple of hopping drills to reinforce that pattern when
Yeah.
things are going at a much higher velocity.
Yep.
Because you can do this slow, doesn't mean it will translate when you're running.
Quick, yeah. And repeatable.
Exactly, it's gotta be repeatable. There you go. Do you want to move up in the company?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm content where I am now. It definitely keeps me stimulated, so
Yeah.
I'm not like bored in what I do yet.
Yeah.
So it's good.
And well, I think Chestnut Hill is also a great club.
Yeah, it's great. It's a good community.
Yeah, I took my wife to like all the equinoxes, and I was like, take whichever one.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when Seaport was opening up too, and we did Seaport, we did everything, and then she goes, Chestnut Hill.
Yeah,
I
it's
go,
nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good community.
Yeah. And I think the talent retention in the last couple of years has been crazy.
Yes.
Because usually, I've been doing work with them for the last like 6 years or so. And there's always a good amount of turnover of trainers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the last year or so, I'm like, barely any new faces.
Yeah, it's good.
That's really, really good.
Yeah, it's a good sign.
It's good for the clients too to see
Yep,
the
see
familiar
the same
faces.
people. Yeah.
Go.
Oh, I'm excited to go home and do this.
Yeah. Yeah, you do it at work.
Yeah.
That's kind of the good part of the job. No one
Yeah.
can look at you funny for doing stuff like this. Well, especially all the trainers, they know we do so much
Yeah.
work with the wedges. So when you bring it
Yeah.
out, they know where you got it from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I got mine.
I know, I love
Not,
it.
not even on purpose, dude. It just happened to be what I picked out today.
Yeah.
I should do like these socks a lot, like the.
Double grip on the bottom?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing some of that for us, some grippies.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're also gonna get like the pinky arch side. So you have an arch that's medial.
Yeah.
You also have an arch that's transverse. So you wanna hit it like in between, like right here.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you have the one right in the middle, but then you also have one on the lateral side. Most people don't think about that one.
Yeah, no.
It's not a very popular one. Some people say it doesn't exist, but I've seen enough cases where there is one, just much smaller.
Yeah.
So I do want to make sure that we hit that one too, like right there.
Yeah, totally.
Especially if you have been kind of going on the outskirt of your foot this whole time.
Yeah.
You probably tend to have a little more tension on this side
Totally.
versus other people. Okay, now let's come back over here. And let's take a look. See how the foot's moving. So I'm gonna bring, and let's just do with no wedges first and just be heavy on the heel and slowly bring that knee forward. Yeah, look at that knee.
Already feels better and looks better.
Look at that knee, looks great. Sweet. Now let's add some help here. Stay right there. Slowly bring that knee forward. Keep that knee straight. Okay. How's that feel with the wedge?
Great.
And then I'm going to add right here. You're thinking about that foot spreading out, like going down, melting to the ground.
Yeah.
Would you like better, the one wedge or the two wedge?
I think I like the both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that feels great.
Yeah, keep it going for a bit. Yeah, I can see that. 2-inch rotation happening. Do a few more.
I do feel some tightness in the calf.
Like up high or down low?
Yeah, up higher.
Up higher is okay.
Okay.
If you're feeling down low, let me know, because that's pulling on a tendon, and that's not ideal either.
No, it's up high.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine, because you're also bringing your knee into
it is
really
a stretch,
far.
so yeah.
Good. So after you do this, you also want to reinforce it with nothing. So think about wedges, they're like training wheels.
Mm-hmm.
You get comfortable to find the rhythm, but once you have the rhythm, don't be relying on it.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is, see how different that
Yeah.
looks with your knee? Brandon, you take a peek in the mirror. That knee just comes right in. So now it travels forward and it comes right down the middle. The force is being distributed a lot more evenly across the entire foot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
sweet. Let's go to the gym. Let's see a
Yeah.
couple hops.
A little bit of hops.
Yeah, so sometimes I do all this and I forget to give the wedges to the person, and they're like, great, but I don't have it at home.
I love the aesthetic in here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's great.
We're trying to be different, trying to make it home, trying
It's
to have
good,
a little bit of my culture
Yeah.
sprinkled in.
Yeah, it's personality. It's real.
Yeah. All right, let's just see. You come over here and do it. Left leg hop, hop, stick. Hop, hop, stick. See how that looks.
Left still or right?
Left. Nice. How's that feel?
Good. It still feels like it wants to be on the outside, but at the same time, it's also like knows. There we go. See? That felt good. The
Okay.
end.
Keep practicing.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're doing
Yeah.
this, think about when you're landing, you're like scuffing the floor a little bit.
Yep.
So you're landing with the heel a little bit off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how just what I want you to do before now and then. Do all the stuff that we just did, but practice the hop. So you can do a single leg hop, single leg
Yep.
stick. So it looks like this. I'll show them my right. And just kind of stick the landing, stick the landing, stick the landing, stick the landing. And you want to just reinforce that middle pressure of the foot the
Yeah.
whole time, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Stick the landing. So make sure you get like a good 2 seconds there so you're solid. Boom, 2 seconds. Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh.
2 seconds. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. How's it feeling?
Good.
There you go. You getting? Are you
That was
getting?
better.
Are you
Yeah.
getting to the middle?
Yeah.
Do a couple more rounds. There you go. There you go. So try this way. It's going to be a right foot. You're just working on the mechanics. All right. Yeah. So right foot. Yeah. There you go. How's that?
Fine.
So it replicates the running form a
Yeah.
lot more, and it teaches your nervous system how to land with that foot, be able to absorb the force. Get that big toe joint down. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just more activation of my big toe.
Yep. Yep. Just that big toe joint, right?
Yeah.
Just the joint, not the toe itself, the joint. Yep. Yep.
And less like this.
Exactly. Land with the heel a little bit lifted.
Okay.
Okay. I'm suspecting that's probably close to what you're gonna look like when you're running. There you go. There you go. There you go. How's that feel?
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And last thing, this is something simple you can do. One foot in front of the other, left foot. Bring your weight on top and be on the middle of the balls of the foot. Heel just a little bit. Yep, that's good. So when you're here, you should feel some pretty solid contact right here. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
So you're just reinforcing
Yeah.
that pattern as
Yeah.
well. And this is something you do like all the time.
Yeah. Totally.
Right? You're standing like 90% of the time,
Yeah.
right? So you can reinforce this all the time,
Yeah.
and then you can have separate moments in which you're using the wedges to help unlock your foot.
Mm-hmm. I
Okay.
like it.
Yeah, I'll spell all this for you, probably in an email, so
Okay.
you have something real succinct
Yeah.
to work on.
Perfect.
And then Sunday is the race.
Yeah.
What are you doing Saturday?
My family's in town, so hanging out with them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah. So let me know if you need me between now and
Good
then.
time.
If anything shows up. Like I
Okay.
said, you have the 2 comp sessions. We
Yeah.
just went today. Run it. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah.
Wait a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Probably want to see you again to
Yeah,
make
yeah,
sure that
totally.
you're in good shape and you're recovering well.
Totally.
Because let me tell you this, most people who run marathons end up running another one.
Yeah.
Because
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But they usually feel pretty
Yeah.
accomplished.
It's a
after
good
the first
feeling.
one.
So yeah.
I haven't
Cool.
gotten that bug yet, but I thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should.
Just
man.
for this.